Today I'm going to show you 51 amazing everyday uses and benefits of hydrogen peroxide. The odds are that you already have hydrogen peroxide in your house. If not, you can pick it up at your grocery store or drugstore for just a couple of dollars. In fact, it's one of the lowest cost, handiest household supplies there is. And you would be surprised at just how many ways you can use it for cleaning, hygiene, healing, style, and much more. I'm going to share with you a ton of amazing hydrogen peroxide uses. Hydrogen peroxide is a colourless liquid, only a little more viscous than water. On sight, it actually looks exactly like water. It has powerful oxidizing properties, which allows it to work as a bleaching agent, as anyone who has ever bleached their hair knows. Hydrogen peroxide's same oxidizing properties allow it to react with bacteria, viruses, spores and yeasts, making it a great disinfectant. If you've ever used hydrogen peroxide to disinfect a cut, you probably have noticed all the fizzing and bubbling that happens. There is a misconception that this is the last gasp of the dying organisms. What it really is actually is a result of the H2O2 bonds breaking down during the reaction. One of the oxygen molecules is liberated, leaving just water behind. So now let's get on with the amazing applications of hydrogen peroxide around the home. Medicinal uses. Hydrogen peroxide is perhaps best known for its medicinal uses. This is, after all, why it tends to be sold in the pharmaceutical section of a store. Here are some commonly known medicinal uses for hydrogen peroxide, as well as a few you're probably not aware of. Number 1, it can treat colds. There is no cure for the common cold, and hydrogen peroxide is no exception to that rule. But there are things you can do to treat a common cold, and many people report that one great method is to put a couple of drops of hydrogen peroxide in your ears. This can help to clear out any infection or blockage in your ear. A 3% hydrogen peroxide solution is best for this. And number 2, cure canker sores. If you have canker sores in your mouth, you may be able to get them to go away faster by swishing some hydrogen peroxide in your mouth. Combine it with water so that you don't cause any irritation or blistering in your mouth. Swish it around for about half a minute or so and then spit it out and rinse with fresh water. You should use a concentration of about 3% hydrogen peroxide with 50% water. Number 3, hydrogen peroxide can also fight foot fungus. Having athlete's foot is no fun. If you're tired of all that itching, you may find that hydrogen peroxide is a helpful antidote thanks to its antifungal properties. Many people have claimed that they have successfully cured foot fungus infections just by applying a mixture comprised of equal parts water and hydrogen peroxide. As a preventative measure as well, it's worth treating your shower shoes with hydrogen peroxide. This will also help to stop any fungal infections. Number 4, clean and disinfect minor wounds. This is one of the most obvious uses of hydrogen peroxide. If you have hydrogen peroxide in your home, it is probably for this reason. The 3% solution you can buy at the drugstore can be applied directly to the minor wounds to clean away any dead tissue. It can halt minor bleeding and can help to clear up infections or prevent infections from setting in. It is generally recommended only to apply hydrogen peroxide once, since doing it too many times may also inhibit friendly bacteria which can help facilitate healing. Number 5, hydrogen peroxide is also good for getting rid of acne and boils. If you have an infected acne area, you may be able to speed up the healing process by applying a little hydrogen peroxide to the affected area. It will act just the same way as it does on wounds, helping it to kill the unwanted bacteria and cleanse the area. Just as with wounds, you do not want to overdo this, just apply it once. If you apply it too many times, you will kill the good bacteria too. 3% hydrogen peroxide is the best solution to use. And number 6, hydrogen peroxide can also get rid of bad breath. If you can't get rid of bad breath by brushing your teeth, One great alternative to mouthwash for bad breath is hydrogen peroxide. Since hydrogen peroxide kills the unhealthy organisms in your mouth which cause bad breath, all it takes is half a minute of swishing around to get rid of the bad breath. You may be surprised how effective this is. In fact, if all you have is minor bad breath once in a while, just swishing with hydrogen peroxide once a week could mean you are good to go for the rest of the week. Just make sure you don't overuse it because it can kill good bacteria in your mouth too. Number 7. Get rid of an ear infection. You can also use hydrogen peroxide drops in your ear to take on an ear infection. Just know that you may need medical attention. You cannot cure all ear infections by using hydrogen peroxide, so don't be worried about going to see your doctor just to get it checked out. Number 8. Hydrogen peroxide can also be used to clear out earwax. Earwax isn't an infection, but it certainly can drive you crazy when it blocks your ears so much you have trouble hearing. Just as you can use hydrogen peroxide drops to get rid of infections in your ear, you can also use it to clear up excess wax. Try adding a couple of drops of olive oil and then follow it up with a couple of drops of hydrogen peroxide. Keep your head tilted for about a minute and then tilt it back the other way and let the mixture drain out. You may also want to gently flush your ear out with warm water. Number 9. Treating sinus infections. I would be a little bit cautious about this one. However, many people have reported success without any adverse effects using hydrogen peroxide to treat sinus infections. If you want to try this, mix 3% hydrogen peroxide with an equal part of water in order to dilute it, and then put it into a nasal spray container. Spray it into your nose and then blow it back out after a moment. This, in theory, will kill the sinus infection. Number 10. Tackle a toothache with hydrogen peroxide. Have you ever had a really bad toothache and you're unable to make it to the dentist? Try putting some hydrogen peroxide in your mouth mixed with water and hold it there for a few minutes. Most people who use this method suggest that if you hold it for about 10 minutes, it's best if you can. This reportedly relieves a significant amount of pain. Some people even do this several times a day, but I caution you to avoid overuse since you don't want to kill the good bacteria in your mouth. Number 11. How about taking a detoxifying bath with hydrogen peroxide? If you want to give your bath water a detoxifying boost, try adding 2 quarts of peroxide to your bath water. Soak in the bath for about half an hour. This can be a great idea if you are sick and want to make sure you emerge from the bathtub actually clean of germs. Number 12. Treat a yeast infection with hydrogen peroxide. If you use douching as a method to treat a yeast infection, try adding a couple of capfuls of hydrogen peroxide to the mix. You may find that this controls or even cures your yeast infection. Next, we turn our attentions to hygiene and beauty uses for hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide has many uses for hygiene and beauty, and it's great to have a supply of hydrogen peroxide in your bathroom. Some of these uses overlap with medicinal uses, since they both have a health and beauty effect. Number 14. Hydrogen peroxide can whiten your teeth. Remember earlier when I said you could use hydrogen peroxide as an effective mouthwash to get rid of bad breath? It has another main benefit too, for whitening teeth. Remember, peroxide acts as a bleaching agent. This means that swishing it around in your mouth helps it to bleach your teeth too. Many people have noticed instantaneous results with this. If your teeth are looking a little yellow, then swish around for about a minute and then spit out the hydrogen peroxide. Your teeth will look significantly lighter right afterwards. Do this as a weekly routine and it will keep your smile looking bright. And number 15, make your own toothpaste. If you're not a fan of toothpaste that comes in a tube and has all kinds of questionable artificial ingredients, you can make your own toothpaste at home. You can do this by using baking soda by itself if you like, or you can make it even more effective by mixing baking soda with hydrogen peroxide. To do this, just buy the normal baking soda you can get in a cardboard carton and then add a few drops of 3% hydrogen peroxide to make a paste, and then you can use it to brush on your teeth. Number 16. Use it as a deodorant. Apparently this stuff works great as a deodorant if you mix it in a 1:2 ratio with dish soap, of all things. You're meant to leave it for about half an hour and then rinse it off. I imagine that this would be rather unpleasant for about 30 minutes since dish soap is frankly quite sticky. This may come in handy if you forget to buy some deodorant and you need some quickly before you go out in the evening. Number 17. You can use hydrogen peroxide to clean your contact lenses. Contact lenses can gradually accumulate a build-up of proteins over time. One way you can get rid of that build-up is to use a commercial lens cleaner, or you can just go with hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is the active ingredient in many lens cleaners as it is. It gets the job done quickly, easily and cheaply. Number 18. Whiten your nails. If you want to whiten your nails, you can do it in the same way you can whiten your teeth or hair with hydrogen peroxide. Just soak some hydrogen peroxide into a cotton ball and dab it onto your nails. This can lighten them, making them for a brighter appearance. Number 19. Cover up your roots. Are the roots of your bleached blonde hair starting to show their dark natural colour whilst they grow? Dab on some hydrogen peroxide and let it sit for about half an hour and then wash it out. For those old enough to remember MASH, think of Margaret Houlihan, who was always trying to hide the fact that she wasn't a natural blonde and was in fact using the hydrogen peroxide she'd stashed away from the medical supplies to cover up her roots. Number 20. Or you can use hydrogen peroxide to gradually lighten your hair. Covering your roots the quick and dirty way isn't the only use for hydrogen peroxide in your hair. You can also use it to lighten your hair gradually over time. Mix equal parts of hydrogen peroxide and water and add them to a spray bottle. Spray the solution into your hair and then use a comb to help distribute it. Wait for it to dry and that's it. Just do this routinely and your hair will gradually show blonde highlights. The nice thing about this is that it isn't too harsh, and it also gives you control over how light you want to go, since you can just do it a little bit at a time. Number 21. Disinfect your toothbrush. Now and again it's a great idea to pour some hydrogen peroxide over your toothbrushes. This can help kill staph and other bacteria, which lessens the chance of it getting onto or getting into the back of your mouth. Number 22. Soften calluses and corns. If you have calluses and corns on your feet, you can soften them by soaking your feet in hydrogen peroxide and water. Number 23. Cleaning around the house. We will now look at hydrogen peroxide and its uses around the house. Hydrogen peroxide as a disinfectant isn't just useful for cleaning wounds or in your mouth. It is also very helpful for tackling surfaces around the home. This can help to prevent sickness or keep sickness from spreading. It can also get surfaces looking sparkling and clean. Number 24. Disinfect your countertops. In the bathroom, kitchen and anywhere else in your house, you can quickly and easily disinfect your countertops using hydrogen peroxide. Mix it with water in equal parts as usual in a spray bottle and apply it directly to the surfaces you need to wipe down. Then just get a sponge and wipe them down and you are good to go. Number 25. Whiten your grout. Nothing looks worse than grout that has started to take on that dingy appearance from collecting dust and dirt and everything else that comes along with it. To whiten your grout, first make sure it's dry and then spray peroxide directly onto it. Walk away and do something else for a couple of hours and then come back with a toothbrush and soapy water. Scrub vigorously and then dry it off. It should look white, clean and new. Number 26. Clean your mirrors. Do you hate the streaks that commercial cleaners leave on your mirror? According to a lot of people who use hydrogen peroxide for cleaning around the home, hydrogen peroxide makes a great no-streak cleaning agent for mirrors. You can just spray it on and then wipe it down using a paper towel. It will get rid of any bathroom germs that have made a home on your glass too. Number 27. Wash out your toilet bowl. To disinfect your toilet bowl, pour in half a cup of hydrogen peroxide. Let it stand inside for about 20 minutes. Then come back and scrub out the bowl with your toilet brush as usual, and then flush. While you're at it, douse your toilet bowl brush in hydrogen peroxide. This will disinfect the brush and keep it clean and sanitary. Number 28. Clean your tiles. Tiles like the grate can become quite ugly quite fast when they accumulate stains and soap scum. Hydrogen peroxide helps to kill mold and brighten tiles, so it makes an excellent tile cleaner. To use it, just mix up in a paste with flour, apply it directly to your tiles and then cover it over with a plastic wrap. Leave it to sit overnight and then come back the next morning and rinse your tiles until they are clean. They should be bright, shiny and sparkly, just like new. Number 29. Kill mold. Anywhere you find mold in your house, you can apply directly hydrogen peroxide to the site and then wipe it clean. Hydrogen peroxide is effective against many types of mold and can help to clean and detoxify a wide variety of surfaces. Next, we're going to move on to hydrogen peroxide and its uses in the kitchen. Whilst hydrogen peroxide is great for cleaning all around the home, it is particularly handy in the kitchen where it has many specific applications. Let's look at some of them. Number 30. Clean a cutting board. Your cutting board is a place where germs can readily congregate, especially if you use it to chop meat. Rinse off your cutting board after you use it and then spray it down with peroxide. This will take care of those germs before they get onto other foods you are preparing or find their way onto your utensils. Number 31. Add it to your dishwasher. Do you want your dishwasher to do a better job? Try adding a couple of ounces of hydrogen peroxide to your dish detergent. While you're at it, you can also add a little to your regular dish and hand soap to give them a boost as well. They will do an even better job at killing germs. Number 32. Get rid of stubborn caked on food. Have you caked on food on your pots and pans that you are having a tough time cleaning out? Combine baking soda with hydrogen peroxide so that they form a paste and then rub that onto the dirty dish in the problematic spot. Let it sit for a few minutes, then come back and scrub it away with warm water. The baking soda acts as an abrasive while the hydrogen peroxide helps to break down the particles. The stain should then lift off with relative ease. Number 33. Disinfect your dish rags and sponges. Dish rags and sponges pick up tons of germs while you use them, and then if you just leave them to sit, those germs can really multiply. Soak your dish rags and sponges in hydrogen peroxide or even just spray it on them while they're sitting in the sink and watch them foam up. There are a lot of germs to kill. Doing this not only helps you to stay safe, but it also extends the lifetime of your sponges before you have to replace them. You may also be able to go a little longer between washing your dish rags. Number 34. Clean your fruits and vegetables and keep them fresh. There are several different ways you can use hydrogen peroxide to clean your fruits and veggies and help them stay fresh. Get a spray bottle and add some food-grade hydrogen peroxide. Spray them, let them stand for a couple of minutes and then rinse off the hydrogen peroxide and let them dry. You can then fill another spray bottle with vinegar and spray your fruits and veggies with that. The two work great for detoxifying your food. Do you want to preserve your fruits and vegetables so that they last even longer? Pour a sink full of cold water and then add 1/4 of a cup of food-grade peroxide. Soak your vegetables for around 20 minutes, rinse them and let them dry. This will get rid of chemicals which may have been used in the growing process and also preserve the freshness. Number 35. Keep a salad fresh. Salads are delicious and very good for you, but they tend to go bad almost overnight. To keep your salad fresh a little bit longer, combine half a cup of water with a tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide. Make sure it's food grade peroxide once again, and then spray this mixture on the salad. As you can see, this mixture is very much watered down. You should not digest hydrogen peroxide as it can be bad for you. I'll talk about this later. Number 36. Clean your fridge. Do you want to get rid of unpleasant odours out of your fridge and also disinfect everything? Wipe your shelves down with hydrogen peroxide. This will get rid of unsightly food stains and also kill germs. It should also help to neutralise some of the odours as well. To deal with the rest, just add a box of baking soda. We will now look at more of the miscellaneous uses for hydrogen peroxide in the laundry room and other areas of the house. Number 37. Clean your rugs and carpets. Do you have tough stains in your rugs or carpets? Spray hydrogen peroxide on them to get rid of those unsightly food and mud stains. Be sure that you do this only on lightly coloured fabrics though. If you try it on dark coloured carpets or rugs, you could end up bleaching them and creating a new unsightly patch instead. You may want to do a test first in a spot where no one is going to see it, inside a closet or under an item of furniture for example. If you have light or white coloured carpets, using hydrogen peroxide should be no problem. Number 38. Clean your kids' toys. Children, particularly toddlers, tend to spit all over their toys. Ugh. This is not only going to cause a problem for you and your other children, but it is unsanitary for them too. Use hydrogen peroxide to occasionally wipe down toys, toy boxes and other play areas. It is a safer cleaning agent to use around small children than many commercial cleaners, since it will not cause lung irritations. Number 39. Replace the bleach in your laundry room. If you're looking for an alternative to commercial bleach for your whites, you can try using hydrogen peroxide in your wash. Soak fabrics for about half an hour and you should be able to pull the yellowing out of your whites for a fresh, clean look. Just make sure you keep the stuff far away from other garments so that you do not bleach them by mistake. Number 40. Brighten tablecloths and curtains. While you're at it, do you have any white curtains or tablecloths which have become a little yellowed or stained over time? Wipe the yellow areas down with hydrogen peroxide. Alternatively, just throw them in the wash with the rest of your whites. Number 41. Wash your shower curtains. Don't forget about the shower curtains. These love to pick up mildew and soap scum like an extreme sport. Fight back by using hydrogen peroxide. If you have a shower curtain which can go in the washing machine, then do it. Otherwise, you can just do it by hand. Number 42. Remove tough stains from clothing. Certain types of stains are quite tricky to get rid of, in particular organic stains like blood. Sweat stains that form on the armpits of shirts can also be problematic. Hydrogen peroxide is great for tackling these pesky stains. Mix 2 parts of hydrogen peroxide with 1 part detergent and then use it directly on the stains you are trying to remove. As a reminder, you can only use this technique on light or white coloured clothing. Do not use it on dark or patterned cloth or it will bleach your clothes. Number 43. Get rid of odours in your clothing. Are some of your clothes musty smelling? You can get rid of these odours by washing your clothes in a mixture of hydrogen peroxide and white vinegar. This will get rid of any unwanted smells out of your clothing fast. Only do this with light coloured clothes. Number 44. Disinfect your child's lunchbox. If your kids take their lunch to school in a lunchbox, you know how gross these lunchboxes can get over time. It is easy to overlook the build-up of food residue in these boxes because you don't want to wash them every time. Once in a while, spray some hydrogen peroxide inside. Let it sit for a few minutes and then rinse and wipe out. This will disinfect the box and help keep your kid healthy. Number 45. Disinfect the inside of a cooler. Coolers are subject to the same issues as lunchboxes. They tend to accumulate food residue and get neglected. You can wipe down a cooler's interior the same way you can a child's lunchbox. This will help keep the cooler sanitary. Number 46. Disinfect reusable bags. Do you use a reusable shopping bag in order to protect the environment? This is a great way to cut back on environmental waste. But you do need to take steps to occasionally protect your health too. Now and again you're going to want to turn your bag inside out and spray some hydrogen peroxide solution on the fabric. This will disinfect the bag and also get rid of any lingering food odours. Number 47. Clean a dehumidifier or a humidifier. Dehumidifiers and humidifiers both have a tendency to accumulate mould buildup. If you let this get out of control, it becomes a sanitation problem. Now and again, run a hydrogen peroxide and water solution through your device to kill the mould inside. This way you will continue to process clean air. Number 48. Boost plant growth. One cool scientific fact about H2O2, which I forgot to mention earlier, is the fact that it is found in rainwater naturally. Why? During a rainstorm there is ozone in the atmosphere. Now and again the falling H2O or water picks up an extra oxygen atom from this ozone. This converts it to H2O2. It turns out that this is one of the reasons that rainwater helps plants to grow faster. You can soak your plant seeds in hydrogen peroxide to simulate rainwater. This will get rid of the fungal spores and speed up the rate at which the seeds germinate. Use 1 ounce of peroxide for every 2 cups of water and make it an overnight soak. Also, if you have plants that have been growing for a while, you can boost the health of the root system by occasionally spraying them with a mixture of hydrogen peroxide and water. Just use 1 part peroxide to 32 parts water. What a cool use for this handy compound. Number 49. It can kill mites. Mites are a pain wherever you find them. Wherever you do, spray some hydrogen peroxide. It's a safe way to kill mites which won't contaminate your home or outdoor environment. Number 50. Remove algae from an aquarium. Do you have algae growing on the sides of your fish tank? One safe and effective way to kill it without harming your aquarium's inhabitants is to use hydrogen peroxide. This must be done with great care. You want to use around 60 millilitres of 3% hydrogen peroxide per 250 litres, that's 66 gallons of tank water. Add it with a dropper or syringe slowly over the course of about 5 minutes. Apply it directly to the clump of algae if you can. Once the H2O2 lands on the algae and reacts with it, killing it, it will dilute rapidly, converting into H2O plus free oxygen. Be aware that some aquarium plants may not handle this well. If you add too much, you will oxidize and kill your aquarium's inhabitants, including fish, snails, shrimps and frogs. As an interesting anecdote, people have been adding barley straw to their aquariums for quite a long time to kill algae. It is believed that this works because the barley slowly releases hydrogen peroxide in small amounts. Number 51. Add oxygen to a bag while transporting fish. Are you transporting fish in a bag? You can make this process safer and more comfortable for your fish by adding H2O2 to the bags. Do not use the liquid hydrogen peroxide recommended for all the other applications. Instead, go with the little white tablets which dissolve for a controlled release of oxygen. Last of all, I've got a bonus one for you. Number 52. It can treat wounds in animals. Just as hydrogen peroxide can be used to treat human wounds, you can also use it to treat wounds on your pet. Believe it or not, this includes fish, just not very small ones. If you can dab it on carefully, it will remove dead flesh and help to kill bacteria. Balance this with the risk of stressing the fish though. If you stress the fish out too much, it may not be worth it, and you have to get it back in the water fast. Finally, there's one thing you should not do with hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide works great topically and in a few other ways to tackle health problems, but one thing you should not do is ingest it. There are alternative health practitioners who recommend hydrogen peroxide for all kinds of conditions, from everything from flu to cancer. The idea is that by consuming hydrogen peroxide on a daily basis, you will be creating an oxygen-rich environment where pathogens cannot survive. Your body actually produces some hydrogen peroxide on its own naturally as part of your immune response. So you're thinking, if that works, why not produce more? Well, you shouldn't actually do this. Your immune system produces hydrogen peroxide, yes, but it does it in such a way that hydrogen peroxide cannot damage other body cells. So if you digest hydrogen peroxide, you could actually be doing yourself a lot more harm. Also, large doses, even at 3% concentration, can cause oral blistering, abdominal pain, diarrhea and vomiting. Take it intravenously and it's just as bad. So, if you use hydrogen peroxide for the applications I've suggested, the bottom line is hydrogen peroxide is amazing. Even though you cannot take hydrogen peroxide orally to treat health conditions, it works great to treat minor wounds, ear infections, colds, sinus infections, toothaches, yeast infections and more. Its uses for beauty and hygiene are extensive, and it's a wonderful cleaning and disinfecting agent to use around the house, especially in the kitchen. Hydrogen peroxide is so amazing you can even use it to save your pet's life in a tight spot. Do you know any more exciting uses for hydrogen peroxide that we haven't discussed? Share them with me in the comments below. Thanks for watching and bye for now.